has given me answers to questions I haven't even asked yet. So why do I still cry out to an unrelenting void? What answers can you possibly give to fill the chasm?
Hey everybody, welcome back to Community Group Curriculum This week we tackled a huge question, and it all had to do with the Christ myth. The idea was Christ really a literal historical person who lived and breathed and walked on this planet? Did he really die and then resurrect from the dead 3 days later? I mean, what is the basis of these truths that we hold so close to our heart and actually put our faith and our eternity in the hands of? I mean, these are questions that we often struggle with, or maybe we don't. Maybe we take things for granted. Maybe we believe things at face value. Maybe it's just a teacher told you this is how it is, and so you put trust in that teacher's word and didn't build any faith beyond that, or any trust, or any really context or foundation for your beliefs. That's what I want to get into the first question. I want you all to be really critical with yourselves right now and take time to question, what do you do to come to a conclusion about what you believe? So what do you do to come to a conclusion about what you believe? Do you spend time reading about things? Do you spend time on blogs? Do you have a trusted kind of website or source that you spend a lot of time in? Are there people in your life who seem to know more than you about certain things, or that you trust so much that you would just say, if they believe it, if they say it, then yeah, I'm going to follow that? What do you do for critical thought and critical investigation into things you believe? Or do you even do that at all? These are big questions. As we get into big skepticism, we have to understand what the foundation and basis is for what we believe and why we're living the way we do, instead of just taking it for granted. I guarantee if you're critical with how you believe and how you come to these conclusions, it's going to grow your understanding, it's going to grow your knowledge, it's going to grow your confidence in why you believe what you believe, which will help build your foundation and your faith on the rock of who Jesus Christ is. Let's talk about that question. What do you develop your faith on? What's the foundation for your belief? And how do you come to those conclusions? This week, we talked about the Christ myth. Now, the person of Jesus, I mean, we often will just naturally, like we talked about, just take that at face value. Yes, we believe him, absolutely. Yes, we believe that he is God, absolutely. And we might not know where that's coming from. But what I want to ask the question is, if the person of Jesus is as real that we believe he is, that he lived and breathed, that he's fully God, he's fully man, that he was able to perform miracles, and some that the Gospel of John tells us weren't even recorded in the Bible. And I'm not even talking like backwoods of Galilee miracles. I'm talking like in Bethany when he raised his friend Lazarus from the dead, that Jesus Christ himself had the power to completely transform things that we would think impossible into living, breathing things, just like Lazarus. What about that? I mean, if the truth is that Jesus is the resurrected Christ, and it's a real person who resurrected and is the first fruits of the resurrection and then ascended into heaven, is the Son of God, what does that mean for our lives? But does our faith, does the whole foundation of Christianity depend on the person of Jesus? What if he wasn't a historical figure? What if he wasn't? What kind of ramifications would that have for the faith of Christianity, for the whole religion, for the whole belief system? Let's talk about that right now, the two sides of that. If Jesus is real, what does that mean for us and all our friends and family, people who do believe in him, people who don't? Now, if he wasn't real, what does that mean for Christianity, for you, for your faith, and everything else? That's a big question, but let's talk about it now.
Hey guys, Pastor Mark here. Glad that you guys are in community groups again this week. First week in the context of our Village 2021 campaign, we talked about pray. Second week, we talked about examine. You examined all of your financial situation to say, God, what are you wanting us to give into this project? This third week is all about discuss. And so this week, we want you to discuss your ideas, what God is speaking to you in light of praying and examining. Now you're going to talk openly with a spouse. Hopefully you've probably done that already, with a friend, with a financial advisor, with mentors in your life, with people around you, to actually start talking out loud about, here's what we're thinking about giving to this. What do you think? Having people affirm or push back or help push you or say, what are you thinking about? You're crazy. Is God really going to provide this? Whatever it is. this is the time to now start discussing it with people you trust, a few key people, to really get a gauge from somebody else objectively in your life to talk about, here's something I want to give to this campaign. Here's something I want to give for eternal significance, to build legacy, to build a building that can reach generations and conferences and youth and church planting and gathering as a church on Sundays and media, all the amazing things, the global stuff we want to do. I want to take the things God has given to me and invest them in this. What do you think? And actually discussing those with some key people in your life. So that's what this week is about. Take the next 7 days to discuss. And again, I look forward to hearing all the stories about what God's leading you into in this amazing moment we've got. An awesome opportunity between now, pledging it on October 15, and then giving it, whether it's one big installment or over a period of time, toward February 28th, to buy this land, to move it to the next level. We're excited about it. And so do that. Thank you so much for doing it. Really appreciate this. And I'm just looking forward to what God's going to do.